This is the story of Nathan, a 24-year-old young man who is already of marriageable age. He has been dating Ngozi for the past 5 years, but has not made any remarkable move to show that he's serious about marrying her. She has become frustrated and decided to take some far-reaching decisions. Let's see what she did. Lagos, the city that hardly sleeps. From the honking of horns of the ubiquitous danfos to the chatter of some roadside traders, life is always on the fast lane. Inside all of this lives Nathan, a 24-year-old rising banker who works in one of the commercial banks around town. He was handsome and very charming. He was of marriageable age. But when you tell him of marriage, he says, "No, marriage is not for me. I love my freedom, and I do not want anything to tie me down. I am therefore not ready for marriage." Here was Ngozi, a very warm and caring lady who has been dating Nathan for the past 5 years. Nathan has been promising her of marriage, but he has not done beyond promises. There's no ring attached. There is nothing to show sincerity. Virtually everybody in the neighborhood knew both of them as husband and wife. But that was where it ended. Every other thing was promises. Promises and vain promises. Ngozi dreams of a stable relationship, marriage, children, and a home she could call her own. But every time she brings the issue up with Nathan, the response from him usually is, "Soon, very soon we will do it. Just be patient. We will soon do it." She had waited and waited, and in the process had turned down many suitors, hoping and waiting for Nathan and believing him. He thought Nathan would soon change his mind and say, "Let's do it." But it's been all promises and promises. There have been many men coming to ask for her hands in marriage, but she has turned them down. Then came the frustrations. Frustrations began to set in because she was staying longer and longer on this same condition without hope of seeing her dream come true. Rumors began to make the rounds that Ngozi has wasted her youthful years, that she had been waiting endlessly for Nathan, but Nathan has snubbed her. At times, these words get to her. They were very annoying and stinging, but she held on, hoping that Nathan will soon be ready, hoping upon hope that Nathan will soon say, "Let's do it." But all along, Nathan has done nothing and said nothing, and her hopes have continued to fizzle. but she held on, hoping against hope. While he was waiting, a number of other suitors began to pour in. Amongst them was this guy called Samson. Samson was very respectful and ambitious. He was also very, very caring. This was one thing that swayed Ngozi. He was not the type that plays games. He did not behave like that. His intentions were very clear that he wanted marriage. He wanted a wife. He wanted a woman he would call a wife. And so they began to meet. But their meetings were kept very, very secret, far away from the prying eyes of Nathan. For about 6 months they met. And then came the earth-shattering proposal. Ngozi finally agreed to the proposal, after which she told her family members. Her parents were very, very happy because they have also been waiting for her to get married. And then they quietly began to plan the wedding. But only close relatives knew about it. They were not willing to let Nathan into the secret yet. He was kept in the dark. He was not to know until very, very late. That was the plan of the family. That was the thinking of the family. So the secret plan continued. Such secrets do not last for long. Somewhere along the line, somebody must expose it, either deliberately or unknowingly. So one day, a friend casually cheated Nathan. So you no one tell us. You think say we no go here? Came the friend. Then Nathan responded, tell you waiting you want here where you know when I never tell you. Then the friend said, you mean say you no one tell us say Ngozi one word? Now so you be? Nathan was surprised. He flared up in anger and felt the betrayal sting him like the sting of a bee. He picked up his phone and called Ngozi, but there was no response. Ngozi has never failed to pick up his call anytime he calls. This was unusual, so he waited for some time. Could this revelation by the friend be true? How could Ngozi treat him like this? Ngozi has never treated him this way. Something must be wrong. Something must be true about what this friend said. He tried calling over and over again, but there was no response of any sort. And he began to believe that what he has heard was true. He wasn't giving up on her easily. Not at this point, he thought. I am not going to give up. Let me go and see her. And to their house he went. When he got there, the reception he met was very cold. Ordinarily, the parents would greet him, welcome him, and ask about his welfare. But this time around, nobody was doing that. He felt something was wrong. So he confronted Ngozi and asked to be given a response. He asked Ngozi the truth in what he had and why she was keeping it a secret for him. Ngozi told him point blank that she was tired of waiting. She has waited and waited for him, and since nothing was happening, he decided to go his own way. Nathan, at that point, asked Ngozi to give him another chance, that he was planning a few things, and in a few months they will come to fruition. But Ngozi was not to be swayed. Her voice was firm and final. She wasn't going to change her mind. And so she gave Nathan a final no, turned around and walked away. A few weeks later, wedding invitations began to fly out. People were being invited in the neighborhood, left, right, and center. In fact, a special invitation was addressed to Nathan. That was when it dawned on him that the whole thing was true. He told himself that he wasn't going to take this, that he wasn't going to be taken for a ride, that he must ensure that the wedding does not take place, that he was going to stop it at any cost. When he told Ngozi this, Ngozi dared him to try. Go ahead and stop trying it and see the stuff I am made of, said Ngozi. She has never ever responded in this manner to Nathan. And Nathan was surprised at her outbursts, but kept his cool. His response was, "We shall see." And he left off. Then came the wedding day. Everybody had gathered. Musics were playing left, right, and center. In fact, a live band was invited to the occasion. Everybody that was somebody in the neighborhood was present. Nathan too came along and sat somewhere, taking a look at the whole scenario. He was very, very bitter, but there was nothing he could do. He couldn't carry out his threats. Not at this point. There were too many people around. There was nothing really he could do. In fact, he had no plan of spoiling the wedding. He could not even do it. It was beyond his powers. He just sat there and continued to sulk. After some time, nobody was listening or attending to him. After some time, with nobody attending to him, he stood up in frustration and left in anger. He left not because he doesn't love Ngozi anymore, but because his love came a bit too late, and there was nothing anybody could do about it. This story shows that when you are in love, timing matters a great deal. If you waste a lot of time, you may just lose everything. What would you have done if you were Nathan or Ngozi? Was Ngozi right in taking these decisions? Let us hear your views in the comment section of this video.